well, I'm not going to dwell on this too much. I already gone into it a bit. But this is a Wallet More, a thing coming out. And it says premieres midnight of January the 1st, 2021. And seems to be a vibration that a lot of things are pushing. If you look at 1st January evictions in the USA, it says Governor Cuomo says he will extend eviction, moratorium for residential and commercial tenants through the new year. Salah. So it said the current bans on evictions for residential and commercial tenants were set to expire on January the 1st, 2021, but they said they're going to stagger it now. And that's the whole idea around it. And you also have 1st of January. You have this with Brexit. So you got what will change from 1st of January, what will change. Brexit was over. Talking about all of this, and there's going to be accuracies in the articles, and I imagine some inaccuracies, but we'll just have to wait and see. It's in the hand of the Lord. But there's a lot of things that seem to be culminating with this year, 2021. Of course, there's two new, at least in the UK, two new strains of the crown pestilence. So it's all ramping up, man. It's all ramping up. And let's get the etymology of January, then we can further direct ourselves and focus in on what we're trying to look up on. January. So if you're aware, all the months and all the days and a lot, this goes back to worship of different deities, different gods. So it says Janvier, which is in French, modern French is Janvier, from Latin Ianieros mensis, the month of Janus, to whom the month was sacred as the beginning of the year, according to the later Roman reckoning, cognates Janeo, Genova, Enero in Spanish, and Janeiro from Latinized. I don't know what I just said then. Latinized. So you've got the word Janus, ancient Italic deity. Italic meaning what? To the Romans, the guardian god of portals, doors, and gates. Patron of beginnings and endings. The ending of what we know it as, or the world as we know it, and moving towards even a novus ordo seclorum. Literally gay arched passageway, or arched passageway, to go, path, to travel. He shows having two faces, one in the front, the other in the back. They represent sunrise and sunset and reflect an original role as a solar deity. And also that's why you have New Year's resolutions, because it's really reverence to the deity, the idol Janus, to look back upon what you've done, looking forward to move forward. And it's always positioned and packaged in a nice, well, it's just about bettering yourself. It's always positioned in that sort of manner. So you've got Janus. In fact, let's get Colossians 2 and 8 first. It says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Mashiach. So you're not meant to be making a New Year's resolution or whatever. Of course, you have to acknowledge the Roman calendar in terms of your pay from work or whatever. Or there's different reasons. You've got taxes, you've got bills. You might have a car note, a house bill to pay. You know what I mean? But really, we don't recognize it in terms of the heavens is our clock, and that was given for signs. Well, signs of the times, innit? To know, and I'm not talking about omens, but rather knowing what time it is. To know, being bare, struggling on that. Hopefully, you know what I mean. We look at the sky, know what time it is. Look at the moon, know what day it is. There you go. Also, Matthew 7 and 13 to 14. I've put 15, but that's fine too. Matthew 7, 13 through 15. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, And broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat, even Janus, even making New Year's resolutions and a resolution. We can look at that word soon, Lord willing. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way, which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. You can read 2 Ezra, the 7th chapter. It says, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. They tell you, oh no, don't worry about it. You shall not surely die when you take the wallet more. 1st of January 2021, we're moving into a new time. 2020 was a bad year, but now we've got this and we can start moving forward, thinking about advancing ourselves, really having a direction. We know what's happening now. Like, there was a lot of unknown, but now we know about lockdowns, we know how to move it. All of that. It's coming, man. It's coming. Now, that was it. Let's look up Janus, not Jamus. That's jokes. Janus. Here we are. Look. You can see many renderings of that in different cultures too, the two-headed sort of idea. You can read that. There's nothing that we've not really read. So it said, presiding over the beginning and ending of conflict, hence war and peace. So moving into a new time still. Not a temple. Functions pertain to birth and to journeys and to exchange. So birthdays, even that goes into a new beginning and sort of Janusism. The ancient Greeks had no equivalent to Janus, whom the Romans claimed as distinctively their own. That's okay. That's fine. His function as god of beginnings has been clearly expressed in numerous ancient sources, among them most notably Cicero, Ovid, and Varro. As a god of motion, Janus looks after passages, causes actions to start, and presides over all beginnings, even this beginning of sorrows. Not that he actually does, but this is how his position to us in the world, innit? Well, it's a hallmark, it's a new time. I've already done the impression. There is, that's how it's going to come up. So watch out. Colossians 2:8, innit? Beware lest anyone spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. So this is philosophy, it's Greek philosophy, Greco-Roman philosophy. I say, well, it's actually unique, it's Roman. Greco-Roman theology, philosophy, and vain deceit. But it is going to mark something. It's not going to, that we're meant to reverence it and keep it, but it is going to mark a new sort of era. That's what I'm trying to get at. Let's get 2nd Ezra's. So much in 2nd Ezra's, man. 2nd Ezra's 15. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. So this is why we're so obsessed with prophecy, man. You should actually be addicted to prophecy, addicted to this truth and occupying yourself therein. It says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Just like Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi's judgments, the prophecy, because the prophecy is to say before. Let's get that word. Here we are. Say before. And this has been said before. This is the word prophecy. It says, the function of a prophet. Let's just get the breakdown. Greek gift of interpreting the will of the gods. Prophetess. Prophetess. There we are. This is what I want. Pro, before, and phanai, to speak. And these are all the related words. It says, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. So even when it starts ramping up and these things are coming so obvious, you're going to have, well, even Israelite camps, you're going to have your own people, other nations, naysaying and saying, oh, it's not the mark, you shall not surely die. But you're not meant to let that trouble you. Why is that? Because they will face fire, and not necessarily just a trial. It says, "For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness." So if you get letting that trouble you, who are you trusting in? You're trusting in Janus. Behold, saith the Lord, Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, I'll bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. This is what you're seeing. And you saw, whether it comes to pass or not, you saw the scare, and you saw how vulnerable this whole system is, man. When you had the lockdown based on the new strains, there was lorries, like food couriers, that weren't able to get in and out of a city. Like, there's not a full martial law now, but there's certain places you can't actually go. It's just a sanitized form, and people are desensitized to it. It's like when you put a frog in boiling water, you jump out, but you put him in a little warm water and you keep turning it up and up and up. You know that parable there. It says, "For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." That's when 2 Ezra 6 and 9, it says, Esau's the end of the world, whereas Jacob is the beginning of that followeth. So the time to come, the next rulership will not be an Arabian Mahdi. It will not be China. It's not going to be Russia. It's going to be the children of Israel. But first, this place has to get plagued, has to get destroyed, and we have to be tried. Then they're going to bring out the wallet mall and various different incarnations of that through different names, again in flesh. And it is going to be a flesh thing. The mark of the beast is physical. We always talk about it. Always talk about it. The mark of the beast is the word haragma. In the Latin, it's character, and it's talking about something being literally pricked into you. It also goes back to the word, I believe it's haraz or harax, which is talking about like a trench or something where you have to dig into something. So that's how it's dug in. It's not a spiritual application to a carnal beast. So there you are, 2021. Don't worship Janus. Don't worship Janus. Giving all praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi.